What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this is going to be a bit shorter of a video than normal. I just kind of want to touch on the big news that came out of the 007 world. I also just kind of wanted, because at the end of the day, I talk about all things pop culture. I just have been focusing a lot on Marvel because that really is where most of the big news has been coming from lately. So I just kind of wanted to switch it up, talk about the James Bond news that Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, I think his name is, they have officially handed over the rights to Amazon. I believe Amazon and MGM used to just be distributors. They had like little to no actual say in what went on in the James Bond realm, so to speak, like in terms of storytelling. And I just kind of want to get my thoughts on this. And, I started out, I never want to hear that a creator has given their rights over to a big multi-billion-dollar corporation, especially because I remember that like a few months back, there was like all this drama going on where Barbara Broccoli was going toe to toe with Jeff Bezos and Amazon, kind of like arguing about where they should take James Bond. I think a lot of that had to do with Amazon wanting to do streaming and multiple projects, and Barbara Broccoli's like, hey, let's just streamline and focus on quality films. So, it really does worry me because, for point of reference, I'm a pretty big spy thriller fan. Obviously, James Bond is kind of mixed into the mold with that. I grew up playing the games. I've seen maybe roughly half of the films, definitely all the Daniel Craig ones. And so, I just look at this and I'm like, this just is just something that feels like Amazon gave them. There's someone saying Amazon must have given them so much money that they just could not refuse and they had to sell the rights over. And I hope that's not true. I really do, because that would suck, to be completely honest with you. But I just sit here and, at first I was really upset and I was really like, how could they do this? Like, they've completely sold out. Amazon's going to ruin it. It's going to be, it's giving to me the same way back in 2012 when George Lucas handed Disney the keys to Star Wars, and just the really rapid decline you've seen with Star Wars under Disney. And, when you take somebody who their pride and joy is their project, they're going to take a lot more care in something that person owns, whatever it is, as opposed to when you hand it off to somebody. It's like, you can just look at home property, for example. Like if you have a home in a beautiful home, beautiful 5 acres, you're going to take care of that a lot more than when you sell it to some buyer and they just come in, bulldoze it all, and put up townhomes or businesses, whatever. Like, it's that same kind of just principle that you could apply to any aspect of, you always take care of something better when it's actually yours and it's something you put blood, sweat, and tears into. And that's just kind of the feel that I get from this. But, I guess looking on the Amazon side of it, my biggest fear is just, please don't turn this into the Bond cinematic universe. I just think, similar to, say, Mission Impossible or like Rocky movies, they work better when they're not, like every 3 to 5 years, come up with a Bond movie the same way we get like a Rocky movie, or the same way that we could get Star Trek or something like that. I just don't think when you milk a franchise to death. Mission Impossible is the same way too. It's like we get those every 3 or 4 years, so it's a treat. It feels unique and fresh, and even when maybe one doesn't actually hit, it's still a Bond film, the same way that it's still a Mission Impossible movie or a Star Trek movie or something like that. It just feels, like an event. Same thing with Star Wars too, and I think Star Wars is another good example that I can go back to here and say, that's what we used to get, a trilogy every 10 years roughly, but then when Disney took over, it's just been every year, multiple projects, and I think you just diluted the brand. So I'm hoping when it comes to Amazon, that's not what they're going to do, that they're not going to sit here and dilute the brand and just make spinoff after spinoff. If they made a Spectre spinoff, and maybe it's like, centuries before you start seeing them form, and then they come out into the shadows, you kind of see how they became the organization Spectre, like who started it, backstories, all that fun stuff. I think that could be interesting, but I don't need a spinoff of the side chick in the latest James Bond movie, or the obscure villain no one's heard about in 20 years. I really hope they focus on theatrical. I know some people have said they're going to turn it into a series like they have with Reacher, and I hope not. Like, I don't want a Bond series. You want to make 1 or 2 spinoffs? Okay, maybe. If they're actually really good and they deserve to be, made into spinoffs and have that character's story expanded more, like with Spectre. But, yeah, there's just, There's a lot to be concerned about, but at the same time, I feel like I'd feel a lot more nervous if this was handed over to, say, Disney, because we've seen Disney just hasn't been at their peak lately, and there's a lot of stuff that when it comes to Bond that I don't think Disney would allow in those movies. So, I mean, Amazon, they have The Boys, they have Invincible. I personally wasn't a big fan of Invincible Season 2, but I know a lot of people were, so I'll count it. Fallout, which I haven't seen, but I know that's really good. Again, Reacher, I haven't seen it, but people say it's really good. Now that I think about it, I need to watch more Prime shows. But anyways, and it's like, so I guess I look at this and I'm like, surely they know what they have and the value that they have in this brand, and they're not going to dilute it. They're going to listen to the fans, because it seems like everyone is so pessimistic about this, myself included to a degree. So yeah, at the end of the day, I guess all I got is I went from feeling very negative to then I realized, okay, Amazon, outside of the Rings of Power, they do a pretty good job with their shows. And even Rings of Power looks like it's slowly starting to build back up. So, hopefully this will be like a Fallout situation or something where they'll make a movie or something and everyone just loves it. It's going to get the Bond hype train going faster than ever. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, that's really all I got here. Just let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are you excited about this news? Do you think it means we're going to get bigger, better, and more Bond projects in the, down the pipeline? Are you like me and a bit pessimistic, but also you're like, hey, this is what we got, let's see how it plays out? Whatever you think, just let me know in the comments down below. And as always, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will catch you all later. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you liked what you've seen here and you want to see more, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and check out my other videos in the link in the description down below, and I will see you all later.